What is going on, everyone? Supreme Kami over here. So a few days ago, I dropped a video talking about what is my peak performance for my shooting base unit. I had like what 3 7-star parts that I used in that video. So obviously the status is extremely incredible. But now let me actually switch things around and talk about my melee aspect of it. So what is my 2021 best melee build? You guys can see that the stat is kind of embarrassing, barely reaching that 123k, which is like not the highest in today's standard. And even look at that, I don't have the 4-star version of the Vortex gear, so I am definitely way behind. I'm purposely not doing it because I feel like the amount of resources that is needed is not really that worth it for, let's say, 2 to 3,000 flat stats. So that's why I'm holding off onto it until maybe later on, because like presumably what I want to do, I want to have a build that is revolving around pro tag, maybe close combat as well as mobile fighter. But as far as I'm concerned right now, can't really do that at this point in time. But in terms of what we're looking at, so this is all 3 typings of a melee build that I'm currently using in arena, and these right here would allow me to easily get into top 100 without any needs, because what is behind this build is actually a lot more powerful than the flat status given right here. This right here I don't think do justice in terms of how powerful this build is over here, all 3 of them in combined, especially this one. This one is probably the most powerful iteration of any of these because of this arm right here that I probably have talked about in this channel probably like a few times already. Just having these buff skill effects is gonna make this any build running longer for longevity wise. So I guess I can just kind of start things out with this one specifically because all 3 of them are basically the same. In terms of, let's say, your main core of a melee build that I went for is actually the double Quanta Full. Is it the Full Saber? Yeah, the double Quanta Full Saber. So this right here has this alteration extremely late, but upon alteration, this thing is a monster. So right now, if you're looking at 11,403, it's not anything too spectacular because we just have 7 stars. So this build right here is completely 7-star list. So we're not taking accounting into how much 7-star can make this build into, like how powerful it is. I'm gonna show you guys that without 7-star parts, this build all around is gonna be a lot more powerful than I want to say like majority of the build out there. So I'm actually going to be doing some arena gameplay as well, trying to get into like the top 100 with this build. I believe today is the last day of the arena, so once I finish my 3 matches, I should be able to get within, I want to say, top 50. I think top 50 is definitely doable. So in terms of the core, your melee weapon and the arm, so starting out with the melee weapon, so this thing is pretty good. Your generic initial charge boosting by 20%, so that is definitely something to have. But in today's standard, there's definitely some that will give, let's say, 25% and then 40%, which I'm not even there yet. So that is like the next level up that I could be working on, but I don't even think there's anything up that caliber for melee weapon at that moment. So this one is pretty good, so not bad. I did double subside itself, so that's why you're looking at 14,356, and that defensive right there, that would get translated onto that right there. So it's pretty good, level 10 right there. As for the arm, I did use the same arm for both build actually, for both my P attribute and then for my S attribute. But for my T attribute, it's a little bit different because I want the Jig Arch Gundam arm only works with tech attribute. So unfortunately, this one is actually not bad at all. You can definitely use this one, or you can use the Barbatoros arm if you choose to. But I've been using this one since the 2nd year anniversary, so I didn't plan on switching it yet. So this one's not bad. So this one is one of our 40% trait arm, but the unfortunate factor is this one is bounded to a high firepower. So if I ever do want to switch things around and not use whenever I do switch around and using, let's say, mobile fighter, it's not really gonna work because I presumably want pro tag. No, I want close combat over high firepower, which at this point in time I cannot really do that. So that is going to be the unfortunate factor. And as for the subslot, I went for the big scale exit instead because the war chat wise on this, like of all 3 of my build, is a really constraint of trying to have pro chat lineup. So I had to go for the unfortunate factor of using the XE instead. So those are the main 2 core that we're looking at. So pretty much the same thing throughout the build. It's just the only differences between like all these are just trying to make the appropriate attribute for the build. Pilot wise is literally the same thing as well, you know, using the Mikaski August over here, the what is it, the last episode of it, because he had that you know, one damaged eyes if you will. This one is by far right now, I want to say this one is currently one of the better build project for melee specifically, but the downside factor is you have to use high firepower, which you know, it's a problem, right? So I think the best case scenario is if they have this right here, if they want to bound you to like a specific war tag, maybe bounding it to pro tag would be the more appropriate version, like my sub slot right here, the other build projects that I was saying. This one's bounding it to pro tag is definitely the ideal situation, but this one is not only back part EX skills, so it's more or less like a, so what I would do normally if I had to use something on the back part, like I don't mind using this one specifically, for example, or because this one right here, right, this one is bounding it to only physical. So let's say if I want to use some, like let's say my backpack EX skill is a beam specifically, then I can swap to this one and still gain this part, so it's not that bad. But this one does come out to almost at 10k. If I were to put in maybe 2 more right marks, which I want to do but I don't at the same time, this would definitely get over the 10k mark, but I don't think that even matters at all. Also do have some bonus trade across the board, you guys can see. Yeah, 3, so I am getting 10 more percentage from all these combined, so it's not bad at all, you know, 10%. So other than that, is there anything much to kind of talk about? Oh, I guess the next thing to talk about is like what makes all 3 of these builds really powerful, despite the fact that the stat is extremely low over here. I think this is something I cover and probably talk about many times, and this is why I consider this like to be a top build for me, or for melee specifically for 2021. Because of this portrait, right? The Kimura's Fedora chest is something that came out last year. This right here, this unit specifically is last year's New Year banner, if you will. And so it's gonna be, so next week is gonna be exactly the timeline where it released last year. So this, alright, this chest right here is still one of the most formidable chests we're using, but the condition on this sucks, you know. Locking you to using a lance category, that's probably like a bad thing already. And this one is locking you to only using Outfighter job license, so oof, double bad, you know. So, but you know, this one we haven't really gone to a situation where we have a lot of these recently, so that's why it's still one of the better ones to be using at the moment. So I'm still using it. Like, I know that we have been getting a lot of boosting specifically for Infighter. Let's say the DN Ultron head part, that one's specifically for Infighter, so I can't really use it. We had the Phantom Gundam, which is specifically for Infighter as well as the head part, so I'm just like, when are they gonna actually drop a 40% trait specifically for like a melee across the board without any restrictions? So I'm still waiting on that, because right now I am still using the Helios, which is getting a bit old. I think having the Helios head is definitely a hindrance because of the war tag we're looking at. So until that point comes around, I will definitely be using this for the the duration of the time period. So the next thing to talk about, I think alright, so we should be moving down to the backpack. Alright, the backpack, I am using the ground salt. This is one of the earlier build projects, so this one is still not bad, you know. This one having a buff EX skill up by 22% at max, which is something I'm not really gonna max out, because I feel like eventually they will release something that is up a 30% caliber, so that is something I'm still waiting for. This one having a close combat, which is why I cannot fully transition if I'm building a mobile fighter type build, having mobile fighter, pro tag, and high firepower, because of this one right here specifically, and this one over here. This one locked me to using close combat for the initial charge boosting, so quite unfortunate right there. And then last but not least, we have this one over here. So the Cosmic Shield, definitely something I have been praying on the channel a lot. Like, you guys are recommending what kind of shield parts you get. My number one answer is gonna be to you guys the Cosmic Shield at alteration. So it's just unfortunate I'm saying this at the alterated level. You know, having it like after you alterate it, you can get this part right here, but pre-alteration you're not really getting it, so it's kind of like, do you still want to get it? Because I think the answer is still yes, because it's still really powerful if you guys are able to alterate it. But yeah, this one is still pretty powerful. So all in all, I am getting, was it 30, 20, and yeah, so I'm getting roughly about 80% EXQ power boosting. So that would translate into these doing over 129. this one, yeah. So all these are doing 129 instead of 49, and this one, yep. So you guys can definitely see how much damage they can rack up all in all together. And then specifically for my P or my tech attribute, this one's gonna be doing a lot more because this one is actually preventing a 39%. So for this one specifically, I should be getting roughly about what 100 and what is it, 111? Yeah. No, 110. There you go. Yeah. So it's over 100%. So you're definitely gonna see a lot of power just generating from activating all these right here specifically for arena. So that's definitely gonna be something I'm gonna be showing you guys how I actually do arena and all that. So I think that is pretty much it. All the other one are just pretty standard portrait, 30% or just 40%. So yeah, so that is generally how my build is around. And then I don't plan on using any 7-star parts on my melee build specifically yet, because I'm still waiting for something that I can genuinely use, and just not something I'm just using for the stat sticking, for example. So yeah. So let me now actually hop into some arena matches over here. Then after that, I'll probably show you guys how powerful like all these together using the build project Gundam arm, because I want to say SS minus power, so that would really generate an enormous amount of power that I will be showing you guys after I do my arena matches over here. So I think right now, yeah, 5,000 right now, because I have not finished 2 days yet at all. And then right after that, I should be placing maybe what would be like the top 20 right here, I think. So let me see what I can do. I'm probably not going to be commentating while I'm doing my arena matches, because I do want to concentrate, because this is like the only thing I consider a challenging thing in game. And yeah, you guys know me, like I take my arena stuff quite serious. So I don't know, like I want to kind of skip the first one over here, because like fighting any melee first, like melee versus melee, you generally do less power, because if you're doing melee damage, your opponent definitely does have some strong melee defense, so kind of like not the ideal setup. So this makes me want to skip the first one, and bam, we are going to be using this one over here. This one is actually going to be clutch, so gonna be setting this one to my P attribute. So keep that in mind. So in terms of me, like my setup over here, I'm actually at a very disadvantage because of my stat. Keep that in mind during a stat bonus week. Like everyone's armor is going to be multiplied by 2 on the spot. So if you guys see, my build is actually at 53,000, but if you hop into the arena, it's already multiplied by 2. So that's why you want the most, you want a stat, you want a portrait, but I don't have the stat, I only have the portrait. So we'll actually see how this one goes through it, and we'll just kind of come back around after you guys witness how I do my arena matches. And then after that, I'll show you guys what is like the final number I can do with some of my other EX skill and all that. So we will be right back. All right, and there you guys go. So after those 3 matches, I was able to bring myself up to a temporary rank of rank 15. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who still have not done it yet because today's a holiday. So probably, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are probably out right now and have not got time to log into a game. But you guys can generally see what kind of damage range we were pretty much at. So we're roughly about mid, 25 million ish, and sometimes a little bit higher, sometimes just a little bit lower. But that is generally how powerful this build can be, despite the fact that I don't even have any 7-star parts, or even like some of the stuff that I could be using could be a lot more powerful. But I do hope that you guys, this gives you guys a good idea of that you don't need 7-star part to perform extremely well. Just because of the fact that my stat was extremely low does not really matter as much, because like I had a lot of part trade that was supporting, like giving me a lot of buffs. So but this build specifically is really to a extreme degree that is purely to be doing one singular damage like I did for the bastard right there. And I don't think in the normal gameplay you'll be bringing 2 buffs and 1 EX skill like that, but this is just on in a very extreme situation that you would be doing that. So let's say in a given situation, let's say multi-mission boss where you want to use 3 EX skill and you want to kind of just kind of want to gauge how much damage you can do. What I can actually do right now is let me actually equip to a skin that I will generally use on a multi-mission matchup and all that. That should be this one over here. So this is probably one of my favorite skins to be using at this moment. So we'll just kind of take into consideration at this one right now. Oh, there's something I also forget to mention to you guys as well. So you guys see those custom ability down over here. So what you want to do is specifically, if you want to do more damage, you would set yourself either when you like this right here is going to be situational depending on what kind of EX skill you guys are using. So for me personally, on this setup, I do have 1 beam and 2 physical. That's why I'll go for both of these over here. And then the last one you want to definitely use is going to be the buff EX skill effects up by 30%. So this one, think of this one as an extra portrait that is added on top of that. So whenever I do have my limit break active, during that fraction of that period, I will be able to gain another 30%. So it will be like what, 140% on this tech attribute build specifically. So it's quite powerful actually. So that is going to be something I will be showing up. The final EX skill I'll definitely be using is going to be the Burning Gundam's arm, just because it's a singular damage EX skill. So you guys will definitely see how powerful it can be. So now let me actually hop into a creative mission match, just on my personal self, and then we'll see how that actually works. Alright, so we are in. So let me see. I think I'm gonna start things out by using the feather dive real quick. So let me see. Let me activate the limit break first and then do this. Okay, let's see how much this one will actually do. 2 million and then 5 million. So 7 million in total right there already. So activate this. So hopefully it targets okay. I just want to see the final number. Obviously there's so many attacks in between. This one is 6 million. Okay. And then this one over here. Oh no, I think I finished him off. Actually. No, it's still there. Okay, let me see what's the final number. 1.4 only, huh? Quite interesting right there. So it's not bad actually. That's a pretty sizable number, I guess. Now if you do combine everything together, it's gonna be a lot more powerful. So the reason why this one is not as powerful as the one I used in arena specifically, because in terms of arena this week around we are getting 150% bonus if you are just for melee damage. That's why you're gonna see a lot more higher attack. But doing a 1.4 is actually not quite that bad actually. So I'll definitely take that. Durall, like definitely the buff has been stacking along. So that's why you guys can see that progressively. You guys can see a better number across the board. So yeah, with that being said, that is basically gonna be pretty much it of what is my best 2021 melee build right there. And I do hopefully that this build, my build specifically, can give you guys an insight like what kind of part you guys can definitely be using to kind of do more damage and all that. But with that being said, that is going to be pretty much it, and I'll catch you guys all on the next one.